What's up and welcome back to Video Creation School. Today we're going to be talking about how to record higher quality versions of yourself, whether you're accepting an award and you're accepting it virtually, so you need to send in a video of yourself talking, or you're just trying to create some better content for your business. You want to be able to record yourself better. Let's talk about how to do it. All right, first tip is get some stabilization, whether it's a cell phone tripod or a ring light like I'm using right now. This ring light has a cell phone mount. I'll show you the behind the scenes camera. Hi, behind the scenes camera. This is what I'm using right now. It is the ring light plugged into the wall. I've got all the controls right in front of me. I can make it dimmer, brighter, whatever. And the cell phone mounts right in the middle of it. It's really easy to use, straightforward. You can also just get a cell phone tripod if you want, or a cell phone mount for an existing tripod you already have. Whatever the case is, get some stabilization so you're not just holding your phone up. That kind of stuff works great for TikTok, you know, day in the life vlog stuff, you're holding the phone, whatever. But if you're looking to create some intentional content with you talking, you want to make sure that your shot is stable. You'll save your editor a lot of time. I'm working with some people right now who send in a bunch of videos, and it makes it so much better when the person recording the video takes some time to do these steps. So stabilization is number one. Number two, let's talk about lighting. So right now I have my window open, as you noticed. So let's say, worst case scenario, I don't have this ring light. And computer, turn off the man cave. This is my lighting situation if I weren't controlling my lighting to an extent. So let's say this is your setup you have right now. You don't have lights, you don't have a man cave lit up, and you don't have your ring light. So what do you do with this situation? Don't put the window behind you. So if all you have to work with is natural light, that's totally fine. Pick up your camera, spin it around, try not to get stuck on too many cables there, and face the window. Look how much better that looks versus what we just had. So if you don't have any light, use some natural light, face towards the window. And today's perfect because it's nice and cloudy outside. The lighting's very diffused, so it works out great. So again, if you're not controlling the light, face towards some natural light, window, open a door if you have to, whatever it takes to get some natural light. You can shoot outside, try not to stand in direct sunlight if you do that, because you don't have the harsh shadows and everything. This kind of thing works perfect. Computer, turn on the man cave. Let's get set back up over here, turn back on the ring light. And if you're controlling your own light, you can actually even shut your blinds if you need to. You don't need it because, as you can see my reflection of the ring light in that window back there. Since I'm controlling my own light, I don't need that window open. I can close it and have a little bit more control over my environment. So the first tip, again, stabilization. Second tip, lighting. Third tip, let's go over some audio. So right now you're listening to this microphone that is plugged into this little recorder that's in my pocket. This is a Tascam DR10L, 10C, whichever one, same exact thing. It's a couple $100 on Amazon. If you want to do more of this kind of content, yeah, get one of these because this thing solves so many problems. The audio is going to sound great. You have to sync it in post though. So one of the good things about it is I can step back here with this audio. It's going to sound the same. If I turn around, it's going to sound the same because this audio is attached to me right here. So let's switch to the cell phone audio. All right, so right now you're listening to the cell phone audio. You can tell there's a quality difference. It's not horrible. It's a cell phone. I mean, it's done great for a lot of people. There's, like I said, TikTok videos, people aren't using external audio recorders most of the time. But if you're submitting, you're trying to create better content, this is something you need to take into consideration. So with audio, proximity matters. So using the cell phone audio, if I step back, you can hear the audio quality gets worse and worse, and especially when I turn around and I'm talking into these sound panels in this corner, it's going to sound really bad. So when you're recording yourself, if you don't have external audio, get closer to the camera like this. You're going to fill the screen a little more. Your audio is going to sound better because I'm closer. Stabilization, lighting, audio, those are the big main things. Let's really quick talk about some cell phone settings. So right now, as you notice, I've got this really this bokeh, this blurred out background behind me, but I'm shooting on the cell phone. So if you've never used the cell phone camera or you don't use it a lot for video, there's two different video modes. One of them is just regular video, and the other one's called cinematic. And cinematic, I can see it's got a square around my face right now. It's detecting the subject in the video and it's blurring out the background So it makes it look like a professional level camera without having to deal with learning all of that. So one, when you're shooting your video, you've got the stabilization, you've got the lighting down, you've got the audio, switch it over to cinematic mode and record this way, because it's gonna make it look more professional. It's gonna look beautiful. And you can test out if you want. When you're recording though, the iPhones at least, sorry, Android, can't speak to you guys. I'm sure it has it though. It's got a little green light right there, and the camera is right over here. So find where your camera is. I know the green light's there. I look down right there. Find where your lens is on your cell phone. Look in the lens. Don't look at yourself. So right now I'm looking at myself. Right now I'm looking over at the lens. Self lens. It's really hard to do. Not gonna lie, it's even harder on the cell phone because the big screen is right there looking back at me. Find where the lens is. Look at that instead. So it looks like you're addressing your audience. If you have a second person there shooting with you, so maybe a spouse or whatever the case is, maybe you're at work, you got an employee, flip the camera around, let them frame it up and everything so you're not distracted. All you have to look at is those lenses. Makes it a lot easier. But if you're shooting yourself, just flip the screen towards yourself and just try to be aware to look in the lens, not at the screen. So we've covered all these different things. Now inside of the camera settings on your phone, what should those be? So when you're recording talking stuff like this, I always shoot in 4K 24 frames a second. So again, it sounds complicated. In your settings on your phone, just type in camera, it'll pull it up. Then in the settings, choose 4K 24. What that does is it gives me a higher quality file, whoever your editor is, whether it's you, a different editor, it gives you a better looking file to work with when you're recording this talking content. Now, when you're recording B-roll stuff, if you're looking to do more of that, you can find more of that at videocreationschool.com, but you can record that in slow-mo, so it gives you the option of slowing that footage down. But for talking stuff, you don't need to slow it down because it's talking, it's communication. So just make sure 4K, 24 frames for any talking stuff. It's gonna give you beautiful looks. So to recap, to get amazing quality video out of your cell phone, stabilization, whether it's a light stand, ring light, or tripod, whatever that is, if you don't have any of that and you're like, I need to record today, prop it up on some books or something, get it that way. Try to get it eye level as well. A little bonus tip there. You don't want to be looking down at your camera. You don't want to be looking down like this. It's not flattering. Get eye level, maybe a little higher if you want to, but definitely don't go lower with the camera angle. Stabilization, lighting, audio, whether you're doing something like the Tascam audio recorder, records to a little SD card. Cell phone, make sure to stay close to it. And then your cell phone settings, shoot on cinematic mode if you can. Get that nice bokeh blur, that blurred out background so it focuses on the subject in the frame. And then shooting in 24 frames a second. Doing all of these things will give you a great quality video file to choose from to use, whether, like I said, you're just trying to improve your content, whatever other use case you have. All these rules, you'll have some beautiful quality videos right from your cell phone.